so our progress report says we are at stage 5, paragraph page 326.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and our last headword was special, newer type of
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so let's
great.
start with our revision. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. First question. Can smoking cause health problems? Can smoking cause health problems? Yes,
Yes.
smoking can cause
Smoking can cause
health problems.
health
Health
co-
problems. One more.
health problem.
Very good. One
Okay.
more. Yes, smoking can
Yes.
cause
Smoking can
health
cause
problems.
problems.
Very good. In history, have many people died for the causes of freedom and justice? In history, have many people died for the causes of freedom and justice? Yes. In
Yes. In
history, many
history,
people have
many
died
people have
for the
died
causes
for the
of freedom
causes
and
of
justice.
freedom and justice.
Very good. As we have now studied about 1,000 words and a lot of the grammar, can you hold a simple conversation in English? As we have now studied about 1,000 words and a lot of the grammar, can you hold a simple conversation in English? Yes. As
Yes,
we have
as
now
we have now
studied about
studied
a
about
thousand words
1,000
and a
words
lot of
and
the
a lot
grammar,
of the grammar,
I can hold
I
a
can
simple
hold a
conversation
simple
in
conversation in
English.
English.
Very good. As you are not tall enough to reach the ceiling, what would you have to do if you wanted to reach it? As you are not tall enough to reach the ceiling, what would you have to do if you wanted to reach it? As I am not
As I am not
tall
tall
enough to
enough
reach the
to
ceiling,
touch to reach the ceiling,
I would have to
I
put
would
a
have
chair
to put a
on the
chair
table
on the
and
table
stand on the
and
chair
stand on the
if
chair
I wanted
if I wanted
to reach it.
to reach it.
Yeah, but that's dangerous. Okay, next.
Yes.
Give me a sentence with the words that is in it. Give me a sentence with the word that is in it, please. Everybody loves that
Everybody
film.
loves that
That
film.
is
That is
everybody I've spoken to.
everybody I've spoken to.
We will go to the cinema
We will go to
this
the
evening.
cinema
That
this
is
evening.
if we
That
have enough
is if
money.
we have enough money.
Ray, have you ever broken any of the bones in your body? Have you ever broken any of the bones in your body? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've
I've broken
some bones
some bones of my
on my,
body.
very good. How and when? When and how? When I was,
When I was a little child,
uh-huh, I
I
broke my,
dropped I
uh,
broke my arm
by, how? By
by
dropping
I dropping from a tall place,
a tall place, a tall
atop
place,
of
a top of
atop
something.
of that of
Okay,
something.
one
Yes.
more. When I was young,
When I was
I
young,
fell
I fell
from a high place
from a high place
and broken my,
and broken my arm.
very good. Oh, not very good. That's very bad. Okay, very good. Okay, next. What's the plural of life? What's the plural of life? The plural of
The
life
plural of
is
life is
lives.
lives.
Do you think the lives of the poor are happier than those of the rich? Do you think the lives of the poor are happier than those of the rich? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I
the
don't think
lives of the
the
poor
lives of the
are
poor
happier
are
than
happier
those of the
than
rich.
those of the rich.
Very good. I think they're less happy.
I think they're less happy.
Very good. Make a sentence with the word although in it. Make a sentence with the word although in it, please. Although the food
Although
was not very nice.
although the
Was not
food
very
was
nice.
not very
I
nice,
ate it
I
because
ate
I
it
was hungry.
because I was hungry.
Very good. Although you're now able to hold a simple conversation in English, do you think you should keep studying? Although you're now able to hold a simple conversation in English, do you think you should keep studying? Yes.
Yes,
Although I'm
although
now able,
I
I'm
now
now able,
I'm now
able to hold.
I'm able to hold
Very good. One
a
more.
simple
Yes. Although
yes,
I'm
although
now able.
I now be able to
One more.
hold I'm now able
To
to
hold a
hold
simple
a
conversation
simple
in English.
conversation in
I think
English.
I should
I
keep
think
studying.
I should keep studying.
Very good. Are some people always happy although they have problems in their lives? Are some people always happy although they have problems in their lives? Yes, some
Yes,
people
some
are
people
always
are
happy
always happy,
although they have
although they
problems
have
in their
problems
lives.
in their lives.
Where is there a restaurant near there that cooks tasty food? Is there a restaurant near there that cooks tasty food? Yes or no?
Yes,
There's a restaurant.
there's
There's a restaurant near
a
here
restaurant near
that
here
cooks tasty food.
that cooks tasty food.
Very good. Is it difficult to cook pasta? Is it difficult to cook pasta? No, it
No,
isn't
it
difficult
isn't
to
difficult
cook
to
pasta.
cook
It's easy.
pasta. It's easy.
Very good. Are you a good cook? Are you a good cook? Yes or no?
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not
a
a
good cook.
good cook.
Very good. Okay, next. Do you think that all the countries of the world should be independent? Do you think that all the countries of the world should be independent? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't think
don't
that
think
all the
that
countries
all
of
the
the world
countries of the world
should be
should be
independent.
independent.
Very good. Do many European languages have their origins in Latin? Do many European languages have their origins in Latin? Yes, many
Yes,
European
many
languages
European
have their
languages have
origins
their
in Latin.
origins in Latin.
Very good. Why don't you take this book home with you after the lesson? Why don't you take this book home with you after the lesson? I don't take
I
that
don't
book
take
home with
that
me
book home with
after the
me
lesson
after the lesson
because it doesn't
because
belong
it
to me.
doesn't belong to me.
Very good. Who does this pen belong to? Who does this pen belong to? That pen
That pen
belongs to
belongs
you.
to you.
Very good. If a factory belonged to you, do you think you'd be able to make a lot of money? If a factory belonged to you, do you think you would be able to make a lot of money? Yes or no?
Yes,
If a
I
factory
think if a factory
belonged to me,
belongs to me,
I think I would
belonged
be
to
able
me, I would be able to
make
make
a lot
a
of
lot
money.
of money.
Very good. One more. Yes. If a
Yes,
factory
if a
belonged to
factory
me,
belonged to
I
me,
think I would
I
be
think
able
I would be
to make
able
a
to
lot of
make
money.
a lot of money.
Very good. What can we use instead of would be able in conditional sentences? What can we use instead of would be able in conditional sentences? We can use could
We can use
instead
could
of would be
instead
able
of would
in
be able
conditional
in
sentences.
conditional sentences.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. If I was a
If
bird,
I were
I could fly.
if I was a bird, I could fly.
Very good. Now I'm going to ask you some questions with could, and you answer me with would be able and vice versa, okay? There you go. Number one.
Mm.
If you were very, very tall, could you touch the ceiling? If you were very, very tall, could you touch the ceiling? Yes. If I
Yes,
were
if I
very,
were
very tall,
very, very
I
tall,
would be
I
able
would be able
to
to
touch
touch
the ceiling.
I would be able to touch the ceiling.
Wait, if you were a doctor, would you be able to help people who were ill? If you were a doctor, would you be able to help people who were ill? Yes, if I
Yes,
were a
if I
doctor,
were
I
a
could
doctor,
help
I
people
could
who
help
were
people
ill.
who were ill.
Wait, if you were as strong as a horse, could you lift a man above your head with only one hand? If you were as strong as a horse, could you lift a man above your head with only one hand? Yes, if I
Yes,
were as strong as a
a
horse.
strong if I were strong as
A
a
horse,
horse,
I would be
I
able
would
to
be
lift
able
a
to
man
lift
above
a
my
man
head
above
with
my head
only one
with
hand.
only one hand.
Very good. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? You're going to
You
throw
are
your
going
pen
to throw
at
your
the window.
pen at the window.
Very good. Do you think you could throw a stone further than I can? Do you think you could throw a stone further than I can? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't think
don't
I could
think
throw a
I
stone
could throw a stone
further than you can.
further than you can.
Very good. Is Napoleon alive? Is Napoleon alive? No. Napoleon
No,
isn't alive.
Napoleon isn't alive.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're dropping your
You are
pen
dropping your
on the
pen
table.
on the table.
What's the pen doing? What's the pen doing? The pen's
The
dropping
pen's
on the
dropping on the
table.
table.
Very good. What would happen if I drop a glass on the floor? What would happen if I drop a glass on the floor? If you drop
If
a
you
glass
dropped a
on the
glass
floor,
on the floor,
it would break.
it would break.
Very good. What's the longest you've ever gone without drinking a drop of water? What's the longest you've ever gone without drinking a drop of water? The longest
The
I've ever
longest
gone.
I would
I've
I'd
ever
ever
gone
I've ever
Gone, like the past of
Gone.
go,
I've ever gone
without drinking.
without
A drop
drinking
of water
a drop of
is
water is 6 hours.
6 hours. Very good. Okay, next. What happened to President Kennedy? What happened to President Kennedy? President Kennedy
President Kennedy
was
was assassinated.
assassinated. Very good. Okay, next. Did anything unusual happen to you yesterday? Did anything unusual happen to you yesterday? Yes or no?
No,
Nothing unusual
nothing unusual
happened to me
what
yesterday.
happened to me yesterday.
Very good. Is it usual for people in your country to eat hot food for breakfast? Is it usual for people in your country to eat hot food for breakfast? Yes or no?
Yes,
It's
it
usual
is. It's usual
for people in my
for
country
people in my
to
country
eat hot food
to eat hot food
for
for
breakfast.
their breakfast.
Very good. Is it usual for children to find coffee tasty? Is it usual for children to find coffee tasty? Yes, it's
No,
usual.
yes,
Yes,
it's
it's
usual.
unusual
Yes, it's
for
unusual
children to
for
find coffee
children to
tasty.
find coffee tasty.
Very good. Okay, next. What's the difference between still and yet? What's the difference between still and yet? The difference
The
between
difference between
still and yet
still and
is
yet
that we
is
use
that
still
we
for
use still
something that
for
is in
something that
progress
is in
at the
progress
moment,
at the moment,
whereas we use yet
whereas we use
for
yet
something
for
that has not
something that
begun
has not
or
begun
happened.
or
We
happened.
generally use still
We generally use
in
still
positive
in
sentences,
positive sentences,
whereas we generally
whereas
use
we
yet
generally use
in
yet
questions
in
and
questions
negative
and
sentences.
negative sentences.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. It's still winter.
It's still
It isn't
winter.
spring yet.
It isn't spring yet.
Wait, has the lesson finished yet? Has the lesson finished yet? No, the lesson
No, the
hasn't finished yet.
lesson hasn't finished
It's
yet.
still in
It's
progress.
still in progress.
Very good. Have we finished speaking yet? Have we finished speaking yet? No, we
No,
haven't finished
we haven't
speaking yet.
finished speaking
We're
yet.
still speaking.
We're still speaking.
Very good. Have they gone home yet? Have they gone home yet? No, they
No,
haven't
they
gone home yet.
haven't gone home
They're
yet.
still here.
They are still here.
Very good. Has autumn begun yet? Has autumn begun yet? No,
No,
autumn hasn't
autumn
begun yet.
hasn't begun
It's
yet.
still summer.
It's still summer.
Very good. Will I still be in this country in 2 weeks' time? Will I still be in this country in 2 weeks' time? Yes, you'll still
Yes,
be
you'll still
in that
be
country
in that
in two
country
weeks' time.
in 2 weeks' times.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision.
Mhm.
Very good. Let's have new work. Very good. Okay, repeat. Clean,
Clean,
dirty,
dirty,
dirt,
dirt,
know of,
know of,
know of. I know of.
know of,
Very good. Okay,
know
listen.
of,
Clean is an adjective. It means without any dirt, without any marks, etc. For example, after washing our hands are clean. Dirty is an adjective. It means not clean. It's the opposite of clean. It means a lot of dirt. For example, before washing, our hands are dirty. The bottoms of our shoes aren't clean, they're dirty. Dirt is a noun. It means anything that makes things dirty, such as mud or dust. For example, I think the dirt of the country is less unpleasant than the dirt of the city, of the farm, etc. Know of, when we say know of, it's a phrasal verb. It means to know that someone or something exists, or who, what, or where they are. For example, I think Calgary in Canada is the cleanest city I know of. Let's practice. Are the bottoms of your shoes clean? Are the bottoms of your shoes clean? No, the
no.
bottoms of
The
my shoes
bottoms of
aren't
my
clean.
shoes aren't
They're
clean.
dirty.
They're dirty.
Wicked, when our stomachs are dirty, what should we do? When our shoes are dirty, what should we do? When our shoes are
When
dirty,
our shoes are
we should
dirty,
clean them.
we should clean them.
Well, what do you think is which do you think is the cleanest city you know of? Which do you think is the cleanest city you know of? I think
I think Tokyo
is the
is
cleanest
the
city
cleanest
I
city
know of.
I know of.
And which do you think is the dirtiest? Which do you think is the dirtiest? I think
I think Osaka
is the
is
dirtiest
the dirtiest city
I know of.
I know of.
Very good. Which do you think is less unpleasant? The dirt of the city or the dirt of the country, the farm, etc.? Which do you think is less unpleasant? The dirt of the city or the dirt of the country, of the farm, etc.? I think the
I
dirt
think
of the
the dirt of the country
is less
is
unpleasant
less
than the
unpleasant
dirt of the
than
city,
the dirt of the
of
city,
the farm,
of the
etc.
farm, etc.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. To be afraid.
To be afraid.
Very good. Okay, listen. To be afraid means to be frightened of something or someone. For example, I was afraid of the dark when I was a little child. People shake when they feel very afraid. Let's practice. Do you remember if you were afraid of the dark when you were a little child? Do you remember if you were afraid of the dark when you were a little child? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
remember I was
remember
afraid
I
of the
was
dark
afraid of the
when I
dark
was a
when
little
I was
child.
a little child.
Wicked, would you be afraid to go round the world in a small open boat? Would you be afraid to go round the world in a small open boat? Yes or no?
Yes,
I would
I
be afraid
be
to
afraid
go round the
to
world
go around the
in a
world
small
with
open boat.
in a small open boat.
Very good. Do people shake when they feel very afraid? Do people shake when they feel very afraid? Yes, people
Yes,
shake
people
when
shake
they feel
when they
very
feel
afraid.
very afraid.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Guard.
Third,
Guard.
guard,
On your guard.
on your guard,
Off your guard.
off your guard.
Very good. Okay, listen. Guard is a verb. It means to keep safe from harm, watch over, or protect something from happening. For example, the best way to guard against becoming ill is to eat healthy food, sleep well, and do exercise. On your guard means you are being careful because you think a situation might become difficult or dangerous. For example, we must be on our guard when we buy something from a man selling things in the street because maybe we won't be able to find him again if there's a problem with the thing we've bought. Off your guard is the opposite of on your guard. Okay, let's practice. What's the best way to guard against becoming ill? What's the best way to guard against becoming ill? The best way
The
to
best way
guard
to
against
guard
becoming ill
against becoming
is to
ill
eat
is
healthy
that
food,
to eat healthy food,
sleep
to
well,
sleep well,
and do exercise.
and do exercise.
Very,
Exercise.
very good. Must we be on our guard when we buy something from a man selling things in the street? Must we be on our guard when we buy something from a man selling things in the street? Yes, we
Yes,
must be on our guard.
we
On
must
our
be on our guard
when we buy
when
something
we buy
from a
something
man selling
from a
things
man
in the street.
selling things in the street,
Why? Why? Because maybe
because
we
maybe
won't be able
we won't be
to
able
find him again
to find him
if
again
there's a problem.
if there's
A
if
problem
there's a
with
problem
the thing we've bought.
with
With the thing
with the thing
we've
we
bought.
we've got.
Like we have bought. Like past tense of buy. We've bought.
Yeah, we've bought.
Very good. One
We've
more.
bought.
Because
We bought
maybe
because
we
maybe
won't be
we
able
won't
to
be
find
able
him again
to find him
if there's
again
a
if
problem with
there's
the
a
thing
problem
we've
with
bought.
the thing we bought.
Bought. Very good. What's the opposite of on your guard? What's the opposite of on your guard? The
The
opposite of on your
opposite of
guard
on your
is
guard
off your
is
guard.
off your guard.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Calm.
Calm,
Quietly. Quietly.
quietly.
Very good. Okay, listen. Calm can be a verb and an adjective. As a verb, it means to become quiet and relaxed after you have been angry, excited, nervous, or upset. As an adjective, it means relaxed and quiet, not angry, nervous, or upset. For example, we're having calm weather at the moment. Quietly is an adverb. It means without making much noise in a way that does not attract attention. For example, the best way to calm somebody down when he's very angry is to speak quietly and pleasantly to him. Let's practice. What's the best way to calm somebody down when he's very angry? What's the best way to calm somebody down when he's very angry? The best way
The
to
best
calm
way
somebody
to
down
calm somebody
when he's
down
very
when
angry
he is very
is
angry
to speak
is
quietly
to speak
and
quietly
pleasantly to
and
him.
pleasantly to him.
Are we having calm weather at the moment? Are we having calm weather at the moment? Yes or no?
Yes,
We are having
we we are having
calm
a
weather at
calm
the moment.
weather at the moment.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to your reading.
Okay,
Okay, very good. So reading is at stage 4, paragraph page 251. The last headword was could
51.
baby. Could baby. Okay, start with question number 4. Could you read when you were a little baby?
Could you read when you were a little baby? No, I couldn't read when I was a little baby.
Mhm,
Perhaps, maybe, a friend of yours. Do you think maybe it will rain later? Yes, I think maybe it will rain later. Do you think perhaps you'll meet a friend of yours on your way home after the lesson? Yes, I think perhaps I'll meet a friend of mine. Yes, I think perhaps I'll meet a friend of mine on my way home after the lesson.
mhm,
Do you think maybe you'll go to the cinema next month? No, I don't think I'll go to the cinema next month. Sweet. Do you like sweet food? Yes, I like sweet food. Did you eat a lot of sweets when you were a child? No, I didn't eat a lot of sweets when I was a child. Next, spoken, written. Do we generally use contractions in spoken or written English? We generally use contractions in spoken English. Do you think it's easier to understand written English or spoken English? I think it's easier to understand written English. And what's the contraction of book will? The contraction of book will is buku. Tomorrow will, the light will, the door will, who will, what will. Tomorrow, the light will, the door, who, what will.
mhm,
And do we always use contractions in English? No, we don't always use contractions in English. When don't we use contractions? We don't use contractions when they we don't use contractions when they are difficult to pronounce.
mhm.
Do you think tomorrow will be a cloudy day? Yes, I think tomorrow will be a cloudy day. And will
Will
that
that
picture be hanging on the wall next lesson? Yes, that picture will be hanging on the wall next lesson. Will the door be the same color next week as it is this week? Yes, the door will be the same color next week as it is this week.
mhm.
Will Mr. Brown be here next lesson? Yes, Mr. Brown will be here next lesson. Spell. How do you spell your name? I spell my name Nicola. Communicate easily. Do you prefer to communicate with your friends by phoning or texting? I prefer to communicate with my friends by texting. Do you think it's easier to communicate in spoken or written English? I think it's easier to communicate in written English. Can you communicate very complicated idea easily in English? No, I can't communicate very complicated ideas easily in English.
Mhm.
Hadn't. What's the negative of had? The negative of had is hadn't. Um, different forms of have.
Mhm.
What are the common ways of asking the What are the common ways of asking a question with the verb to have? The common ways of asking a question with the verb to have are: do you have a pen and have you got a pen? What are the common ways for the past tense? The common ways for the past tense are: did you have a pen? Had you got a pen? Which is the most common way of asking a question with the
Okay.
verb have?
Very good. So we stop there for today, but very good. Very good.
Okay.